My name is Jodi and this is my story. I grew up in a house where we went to a conservative Lutheran church. So, you know, we had hymns on Sundays, and we listened to the pipe organ, and we sang our Kyries, and we memorized the Apostles' Creed, and I was confirmed and sprinkled and all that good stuff. I was very involved in my youth group, and then I went to college, and my life changed a little bit. And I wasn't as involved in church. You know, I was kind of discovering that adult thing and figuring things out. I didn't have to go every Sunday. Now, being a musician and being involved in the choirs there and studying operatic studies, I did have to sing a lot of Christian music because classically music has to deal with God. So I did sing in a lot of churches and had paid gigs at the time, but wasn't there for the real purpose of being there. And I had gotten out of teaching and was working a corporate job, and my coworker invited me to New Life. She knew I was in a place where I was sad and I just wanted to make a connection with other people. And she said, I know you really like music. My church has this awesome band thing. You should come and check us out. So I did. I was brave and went out on a limb and said, you know, I know what church is about, so let me go. I got connected. And it was baby steps. You know, I didn't go back right away. I didn't go back again. I thought, again, that's not my idea of church. I'm not really sure I'm comfortable with the rock music and everybody's in jeans, and when I grew up, you dressed up for church, you know. And then I met the worship minister, and he was like, hey, we need some more people on the band, and you want to try out sometime? And I was like, okay. But the audition went well, and I started singing with the band kind of as a, you know, doing harmonies and whatnot. And then New Life planted another church, our Dulles campus at the time, and so the bands had to be split, and the next thing you know, I'm leading on a Sunday morning, which was crazy. And as that process started, and as I got to get more comfortable with people in the band or whatnot, I was invited to a life group. And it was at that life group at my house that Greg Jennings was interning, and he led a discussion on baptism. And I had never really thought about baptism because I was sprinkled when I was 11 years old to become a member at my church. So I'd been baptized. And he was like, yeah, do you really understand what baptism is? And so we talked about immersion and what that means. And I kind of like let it mull around in my head, but I just kind of let it go. And then I started having some physical problems and things going on in my world. And I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis about a month later. And I felt at that time, okay, God is smacking me in some sort of way. He wants me to listen. And so at the same time, Mike Murray, who was our worship minister, was leaving. And I knew he was the person that I wanted to have baptize me. So did it. Made the decision and was baptized in Thatcher Ferguson's hot tub at his house in Chantilly. So as far as serving in New Life, I mean, I've been doing the band thing forever. I mean, I've been part of New Life for 11 years, and I've always been part of the worship team, and that's comfortable. That's my spiritual gift. I mean, it's the #1 thing that comes up in my gifts assessment, and it's the natural thing to do. And for a long time, I felt like, well, yeah, I serve in the band, and that's how I serve God. But then I had a conversation with somebody after we had helped with the Haymarket campus get launched and decided that's the campus that we were going to, you know, kind of call home. She called me. She was actually in charge of doing like outreach ministry stuff, and she called me and said, God put you on my heart today. And I had never had anybody say that to me, so I thought, well, I better listen to why God spoke to that person. And so we met with Erica Riscala and talked about spring and possibly starting up the spring program at Haymarket and what did that look like. And the first step was getting involved with the schools, which again was a natural thing for me. I mean, God kind of worked that out for me. I had a background in teaching in the public school system, so I knew who to call. And we talked about, you know, furniture and clothes, but they kept coming back about food. And I was told, no, we don't do food. And I said, okay. So I'd go back and say, well, I'm not sure we can do food, but that's really what we need. We need food. So we just went out on a limb and did food. And now it's a lot of food. You know, it's 11 schools. It's 60 boxes of groceries going out every month. And you know, it all started because somebody said to me, God put you on my heart today and challenged me to get uncomfortable. But honestly, the biggest place that I feel filled now, or I get filled up, is with Grab Your Groceries. And I think the reason it's successful, or that it's growing so well, is because I'm not in charge of it. God is. I mean, every single step of the ministry is not something I could have planned, because I'm willing to say, it's yours, you do with it what you want. You know, it's not mine. And He's never let me down. He's never, have there been failures in the process? Sure. I mean, have we tried something and it didn't succeed and we know not to do it again? Absolutely. But people are being loved because of Jesus.